Hello everyone and welcome again to Green Carpet. As you all know, it's been a while since we have posted a new video, but now we're back again with new content and we want to thank you for hanging in there for us. And today we are going to tell you about our best picks of murder mystery movies from the world. These are the movies you must not miss if you love mystery and thrillers. But before that, bringing you these videos really takes a lot of hard work and research. So don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. It motivates us to do more work and bring you more videos. So let's begin. Number 5. Mystery Road, directed by Ivan Sen. Mystery Road is an absorbing murder mystery that builds the tension with a patient and thoughtful narrative. Charismatic Aaron Pedersen stars as Detective Jay Swan, returning to his small-town roots after a stint in The Big Smoke, which has merely widened the chasm between him and his former peers. It is the discovery of a teenager's body under a road used by truckers that fires this scorched noir murder mystery. While the police department remains resolutely unmoved by the death of an indigenous Australian girl, the case strikes close to home for the unloved detective. Newly promoted Aboriginal Detective Jay Swan is assigned to investigate the case. His lonely inquiries uncover sordid evidence of drug dealing, sexual exploitation, and worse. He faces resistance from his own community and a mainly white police force seemingly unconcerned by the murder of an Aborigine girl. In the end, though this is Pedersen's movie, some of Pedersen's best scenes are wordless. Our eyes are drawn toward the taut line of his mouth, the shadow of his eyes, the downward tilt of his head. Significantly, this sequence serves as the setup for an explosively brash finale which maintains the bracing level of tension despite indulging in the most ludicrous genre tropes. Some may scoff at the descent into mayhem, but as the sound of gunfire fades, we are left with a haunting elegy that resonates well beyond the range of mere pulpy cliché. Number 4. The Secret in Their Eyes, directed by Juan Jose Campanella. The Secret in Their Eyes opens with the meeting after many years of Benjamin, played by Ricardo Darin, and Irene, played by Soledad Villamil. She is a judge and he is a retired criminal investigator. They are just a little too happy to see each other. 25 years ago, when she was assistant to a judge and he was an investigator under her, they were involved in a brutal case of rape and murder. Without being too obvious about it, the film reassembles the strands of two stories, the murder case and the unfinished emotions between Benjamin and Irene. Juan Jose Campanella is the writer-director, and here he is a man who creates a complete, engrossing, lovingly crafted film. The Secret in Their Eyes is a rebuke to formulaic screenplays. We grow to know the characters and the story pays due respect to their complexities and needs. There is always the sense that they exist in the now and not at the some point along with a predetermined continuum. Sometimes we watch a film unspooled like a tape measure and we can sense how far we are from the end. Sometimes our imagination is let to live right along with it. Number 3. Seven, directed by David Fincher. These Grim Deaths sets the tone for David Fincher's Seven, one of the darkest and most merciless films ever made in the Hollywood mainstream. It will rain day after day, the cops will investigate death after death. As likely, it's the twist Andrew Kevin Walker's story gradually elucidates. This killer has a working acquaintance with Dante's Divine Comedy and bases his murders on the 7 deadly sins of gluttony, avarice, sloth, lust, pride, envy, and wrath. Seven is not really a very deep or profound film, but it provides the convincing illusion of one. By giving the impression of scholarship, Detective Somerset, played by Morgan Freeman, lends a depth and significance to what the killer apparently considers moral statement. When the killer is told his crimes will soon be forgotten in the daily rush of cruelty, he insists they will be remembered forever. They are his masterpiece. What goes unexplained is how exactly he is making a statement. his victims, presumably guilty of their sins, have been convicted and executed by his action. The killer turns himself in with 30 minutes to go and dominates the film from that point forward. When Seven was released in 1995, the ads, posters and the opening credits did not mention the name of the actor. And although you may well know it, we don't think we will either. This actor has a big assignment. He embodies evil like Hannibal Lecter. His character must be played by a strong actor who projects not merely villainy, but twisted psychological complexities. Observe his face, smug, self-satisfied. Listen to his voice, intelligent, analytical. Mark his composure and apparent fearlessness. The film essentially depends on him and would go astray if the actor faltered. And he doesn't. Seven was David Fincher's second feature film after Alien 3, filmed when he was only 29. Still to come were such as Zodiac and The Social Network. In his work, he likes a saturated palette and gravitates towards sombre colors and underlighted interiors. None of his films is darker than this one. This is the sensation Fincher creates here. Number 2. Zodiac, directed by David Fincher. The look and the feel and the bulk of David Fincher's this movie are so seductive. He has made a massively confident and watchable thriller about the unsolved Zodiac murders in the 1960s San Francisco, USA. The work of a serial killer who sent teasing codes and letters to the local papers. Zodiac spans a 30-year period to the early 1990s, an epic tangled saga of leads muddled, evidence lost, and areas of jurisdiction haggled over. The murder scenes are chilling, counterpointed by the stolid procedural work and the rich background settings. Robert Downey Jr. and Jake Gyllenhaal play two shirt-sleeved journalists who are on Zodiac's case. Downey is Paul Avery, the mercurial crime reporter. Gyllenhaal is Robert Graysmith, the paper's geeky and little-loved cartoonist whose amateur enthusiasm for the case becomes an obsession. Zodiac's victims are not governed by, say, the 12 astrological signs. They are just random, anarchic. His story has no clear ending and so clearly belongs to that other genre of muddled, messy, unreadable real life. It is impossible not to enjoy Zodiac. If enjoy is the word for a picture so often scary and stomach-turning. And it certainly isn't boring, despite a mammoth 2.5-hour running time. Fincher's feel for detail is terrific. The chewed pencils, typewriters and clunky telefax machines are very real. Fincher is an elegant stylist on top of everything else, and here he finds the right pace and style for a story about persistence in the face of evil. Before we move on to number 1, there are other great murder mystery movies as well in the world, especially in Hollywood. But we want to tell you about the movies from the world, not only from Hollywood. So here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Memories of Murder, directed by Bong Joon-ho. This film is based on Hwasong serial murders of the late 1980s. They remained unsolved until this film came out, sparking a renewed upsurge of interest in the case, which led finally to the identification of the culprit in 2019, who was already serving a life sentence for the murder of his sister-in-law in 1994. Detective Park Do-man, Bong Joon-ho's regular star Song Kang-ho, lives and works in the Gyeonggi province in South Korea in the mid-80s. He is not necessarily incompetent, but he is also not often faced with intense criminal investigations. At first, some of the failures of the investigation feel almost comedic. The officer falling down the hill, park-attacking CEO the first time he sees him because he thinks he is a suspect, etc. But the talented director very carefully turns up the intensity. Memories of Murder contains some breathtaking set pieces, including a night chase of a potential suspect and several scenes involving trains and tunnels. A train comes through one of those tunnels at a key moment to remind everyone that danger exists in all those dark places, and it's a danger that's unstoppable and unforgiving. All of those aspects combined to make it a classic film noir murder mystery you can't miss. This masterpiece is often compared with Zodiac. Have you watched both of them? What do you think about it? Do tell us in the comments section. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to tell us which of your favorites we have left out. And do tell us about the genre you want us to make videos on.